Baker Sand 13 says, any rules you follow about time in between sets or exercises? How do you feel about supersets for strength athletes? I'll answer a question about rest between sets and exercises. Rest as long as you need to. For the strength movement, if you were to start out your movement with squats, take as long as you need in order to finish the next set. I would much rather you do 5 sets of 5 in 45 minutes and finish all 25 reps than to do 5 sets of 5 in 10 minutes and fail on your third set. So rest, the goal is to finish the sets and the reps. Rest as long as you need, given that that's not an hour between sets. Now for your assistance work, if you're looking at chasing the pump, or you're looking at going to failure, fatigue, maybe on some dumbbell movements or some barbell lunges, then rest for a shorter amount of time. I would say around 90 seconds. Darren Gilbane says, I'm afraid to go deep on heavy squats as I feel I will get pinned at the bottom. I feel this is holding me back on the squat. Any tips, or is it just a case of man up and shut up? Treat every squat the exact same. Chad Wesley Smith says, I don't know if he came up with it, but he says, treat 135 like your max, and your max like 135, meaning take the light weight seriously, respect the weight, treat it as if it was a maximum weight, focus on setup, execution. And then once you get to your heavy weight, treat it like it's 135, given that you can squat more than 135. Don't get wrapped around the number of it. All of your squats should look the exact same. The only thing that should change is the speed of the bar, obviously, because it's heavier. You need to work on building confidence with weight that you can actually squat. So get all the way down and stand back up. Why are you so afraid to fail anyways? Do you not have spotters? Have some training partners spot you? You might have spotter arms. There's nothing to be afraid of. Sounds to me like you got to change your mindset. Going into a set of squats thinking, crap, I think I'm going to fail this, is not the way to go. You have to have confidence going into that set and saying, I am going to give everything I have, and I know that if I do that, I can squat this weight. And if you're going heavy every single day, you might need to take a step back so that you're not constantly fighting weight, you're actually fighting fatigue, and that will also get you stronger. Dakota Barlow, after seeing the video of you at Super Training getting hazed by Tony from Real World Tactical, what are your thoughts on conditioning for power athletes? Oh God, that workout was god awful. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out on the Super Training channel, Super Training 06, the Real World Tactical with Tony Sentimenat. I did a workout with him. God, it was terrible. But anyways, I'll post the video in a couple weeks. Conditioning for power athletes. It depends on your goal. If you're a power lifter and you want to get a lot better at powerlifting, you need to worry about the bench, squat, and the deadlift. If you're a strongman, CrossFitter, it all depends on what your goal is. I think that you need to do conditioning. You need to do enough conditioning to help you, but not so much that it hinders you. I see a lot of guys that could really benefit from incorporating more volume into their routine, and when I say volume, I don't necessarily mean 5 sets of 10, but they could use more exercises, a little bit longer training sessions, maybe more sets at the given weight they're already doing. But what happens is they burn out, they fizzle out halfway through their workout. They get done with their squats, they're smoked, they can't do anything else. So in a way, what you're doing with conditioning is you're increasing your work capacity so that you can do more in the gym. You're doing more in order to do more. And for a lot of people, doing more will allow them to make progress. And I think everyone should do some sort of conditioning. Your heart and lungs are pretty important, so you should take care of them. Joan Vidia says, hey Alan, I have a question regarding weight classes. I'm 190 centimeters, I have no idea what that is, and 91 kilos of weight, that's like 200 pounds. For Olympic weightlifting, would you recommend I stay under 94 kilograms or eat my way up to 104 kilograms? Thanks, man. You need to do you. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep eating, keep training. On competition day, if you show up at whatever weight, then just go with that weight. You're not an Olympic athlete, or you're not an elite athlete, I'm assuming. So just compete at your own body weight. It doesn't make a difference. If you can snatch 100 kilos at 94 and you can snatch 100 kilos at 104, nobody cares. So I wouldn't worry about losing weight. Just worry about getting stronger and eating more. And if that means you're gaining weight, then so be it. The only sport that really is affected by your weight would be strongman. Because if you are a heavyweight, you have to do the heavyweight weights that are posted. You have to flip that 900-pound tire. You don't get to pick which tire you get to flip. If you're a lightweight, you might flip a lighter tire. But with powerlifting and weightlifting, you get to pick your own weight. So who cares? Stop worrying so much about records and what he's doing, what she's doing. Just do your thing. Personally, I think that it would be much more rewarding to snatch 100 kilos at 100 kilos body weight than snatch 90 kilos at 90 kilos of body weight. But that's just me. Sean Henry says, pancakes or waffles? And then Michael underneath says, what's this or word? French toast, pancakes, waffles. Jacob Mills says, can you touch on the difficulties of purchasing and owning a gym and how to go about that process in short if possible? A lot of you guys have asked this question, and I did say that I was going to make a video series about owning your own gym. I am still going to. It's in the process. Stay tuned. But there's way too many difficulties to talk about in this short video. Just know that there are a lot of difficulties. Are you willing to go through all those difficulties? Is the question. Because when I first started out, I didn't care what it was going to take. I was going to make it happen. I was going to learn along the way. So you could have told me, look, Alan, here's 100 difficulties you're going to face. I would have said, sweet, bring it on. I'm ready. So we'll talk about it in that series. Jared Gibson says, hey, Alan, what would be the best way to train for a Fingal's Finger event without the actual implement? Overhead yoke carries. Tracy Myra says, hey, Alan, I also help train other people to get stronger and build muscle. I've been trying to help someone front squat, but it seems difficult for them to reach depth. Would incorporating a front box squat be a good idea? No. Not that front box squats are bad, but they're never going to learn how to squat deep without the box, unless they train without the box. The box is not going to help them. Even if you lower the box, it's not going to help them at all. So what you could possibly do, I don't know what the problem is, I don't know why they're not reaching depth, but have them do paused front squats. It's very hard to hold a paused squat high. So usually you want to sit down to a little bit more natural position, maintain balance, pause, and then drive the bar up. So see if that helps, if they can do a paused front squat. Richard Angel says, how do you consciously remember all of the cues for the major lifts? It sometimes seems like there's too much going on and can forget to do something. It's a very common problem, and there's nothing that I do to consciously remember all the lifts. There's not a checklist that I necessarily go through in my head. There are certain things every day that I'm focusing on. I might have one certain problem, so each training session I'm really trying to focus on fixing that problem. But as far as remembering everything, that just comes through repetition. It just becomes second nature. It's like a golfer swinging a golf club. How do you remember all the cues and everything that goes into swinging a golf club, driving a golf ball? They're like, I don't really think about it. It just happens. So it's just practice, like any skill. Shooting a basketball, swinging a baseball bat, swinging a golf club, doing the Olympic clean, the snatch. Eventually you don't have to remember so much, and it just happens with second nature. So just keep pushing, just keep working hard, and eventually things will start to get ingrained into your mind. All right, last question. Brian Alsrew says, what was the #1 way you were able to drive up your views on YouTube? I'm growing slowly with my own strongman channel, but it's just hard to get the content in front of people. Thanks, boss. Really like your videos. Brian, you had that video with that 315 bench press nearly killed you. That was pretty funny. I like that. So, as far as driving up views and getting subscribers on your YouTube channel, you have to ask yourself, why should anyone come to your channel? What does your channel have that everyone else does not? A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that people give a shit about them. So they put videos of them lifting, videos of what they eat, Q&As like I'm doing here. If you have no subscribers, nobody's going to watch that. It's only until you have a good following and people are actually liking your content and wanting a little bit more that they're interested in your training or maybe your opinion on a topic. But at first, nobody cares. So you have to figure out what you're giving them. You might be giving them content, information, you might be entertaining, or you could be a little bit of both. So first and foremost is content. If you're a strongman channel, what are you offering them? Are you teaching them about strongman training, making strongman equipments, competing in strongman, strongman diet? Could be all of those. So once you have your content there, you have to think about how you're going to present it. You have to be able to present your content in a engaging and entertaining, easily digestible manner. There's so much information out here on YouTube that I might be saying the same things that everyone else is saying, but I can present it in a different way that people tend to like. So you have to think about your content and how you're presenting it. And to further go off that, content again is number one. Content comes before your editing software, comes before your special effects or your 4K video camera. I've watched other guys' YouTube videos and I'm blown away by like the production value. Looking at the camera, I'm like, oh God, look at this. I'm looking all around. This is crazy high def, but the content sucks. You're leaning forward because you have tight ankles and blah blah blah. It's the same old stuff. I never watch one of their videos again because the content is so blah that it doesn't keep anyone coming back. My old videos were on a garbage camera, a garbage computer, some cheap like $50 video editing software, completely low production, but the content was there and I think that worked. If you look at what Elliot Holst used to do, he used to just put up a camera, press play, stop it, post it. That was it. There was no editing in any of his videos because he had really good content and he had a good way of presenting it. He was very enthusiastic. People liked listening to him. He would come from all these different avenues, sources of what the problem could be. He could be talking about shin splints. He could be talking about constipation for 15 minutes and people would watch these videos. I would watch the video too. So he's very engaging and he didn't have any production. He did really well based off of his content. So the content has to be there. Then you have to figure out how to present it. That's it guys, thanks for watching. My camera's about to die. Always remember, tread on time.